Hi there, my name's Brittany, and in this video I am testing out a pretty basic harem pants pattern that I found pretty much all over the internet. There's some YouTube videos that I got inspiration from, some Pinterest posts, Google images, all that. This is my first time attempting to make these. It's for a upcoming Airbender cosplay that I plan on doing for San Diego Comic-Con. Alright, I'm using an old sheet that I bought at a thrift store instead of muslin or some cheaper fabric just because it was like $3 for a king-size sheet. That's what I'm using as my fabric here. And 2, I've had my sewing machine for roughly 15 years, but I really only learned how to do like basic straight stitch, how to backstitch, that's about it. So a lot of these things I'm going to be doing for the first time as we go through, so I will call out when I don't think I did something well, and also hopefully in future videos call out how I learned to do the thing that I should be doing. Started with a 124 centimeter square piece of fabric that I then folded in half to create a large triangle. From there I took my waist measurement, divided that by 2 and marked that in a curve along the top part of the triangle. That's going to be where my hips are. Then I measured the length that I wanted my pants to be from waist to ankle and marked that on the part of the fabric where the ankle is going to be. After I did that, I folded the triangle in half again in order to cut out the waist and the ankles. Then I pinned the open sides of the pants and sewed up both sides. I realized I had a fairly wide elastic band and I didn't really know the best way to go about doing this, so I ended up seam ripping the side of the pant leg back a little bit so it was easier for me to fold over 2 inches in order to fit the elastic band, so that's kind of what you see me doing here. I've already measured this to fit around my foot and then added a couple centimeters for the sewn edge. Normally at this point you would hear other people say, make sure to leave a gap to put your elastic band in. I did these in a really weird way. It wasn't great, but I didn't have to worry about leaving a gap because the edges of the old pant leg seam were open. So here I'm just sewing that flap shut in order to put the elastic band in afterwards. I used a safety pin, just stick it through the edge of the elastic band and then use that to work your way. Once it was all the way in, I kind of lined up the edges of the elastic to be just inside the edge of the fabric and sewed it shut. Here I'm measuring the flap for the waist elastic band. Again, I'm measuring 2 inches down and pinning. At this point I realized how much bunching was going to happen from who knows what. So I pinned the sides, then I went from the middle and worked my way evenly across in hopes of evening the bunching as I went while sewing. When sewing the waistband, I did leave a gap in order to put the elastic through, since in this case I did not seam rip and leave the sides open. I have no idea what I was thinking with the pant legs, but either way, make sure to leave a gap for your elastic. Using the same method as I did on the pant legs, I used my safety pin to thread the elastic band through the waistband. I then sewed the edges of the elastic together and then sewed the gap shut. After I flipped the pants right side out, I then tried them on, and this was the final product. Alright, so overall, not horrible. I can wear them, they're pants. Like I said, the crotch is a little too long for my liking. Also, the pant leg holes are, even with the elastic stretched to the full capacity, like pretty tight. Some of the seams already popped out on these from after I tried them on. So I think I'm going to, I still want to go with the harem pants idea. I just think I'm going to have to alter the pattern a little bit and go from there before using my real fabric.